Doing it big.
That's how we do it. Doing it big. Look at this. We got people on the stream already.
Pastry chef.
Hello from El Paso, Texas. Look at that.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's
Everything?
Everything.
So they say. I once had a t-shirt that said that.
I heard there's a lot of big people in Texas.
Let's get this merch up real quick. Let's call in studio.
Hell yeah.
Call in now. Let's put the number on here. And let's get this cell phone hooked up real quick.
You have to pick from what the builder has for plans.
Yeah. All right. Let's get this show on the road.
We'll usually have 3 to 5 different models.
What's up, everybody?
What's
Thank
going
you
on?
for tuning in. I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to our, what's the name of the show again? LV Home Experts. That's right. I got my man here, Dan French, with Guarantee Rate.
What's going on?
King of all gurus. What's going on, Dan?
Not much, man. Just happy to be here. Got my people in the office here. I'm about ready to hang out for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, last, least, and final, got my man, the one and only, Brett Jetty.
What's going on, Chuckus? Oh, thank you. I'll be in town all week.
Thank you. How's everything going today, guys?
Brett Daddy, good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like,
Going well.
weather's starting to get better.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's starting to cool down. You got. I always love this time right before, where it's Halloween, because then you see it's not just because the whole weather's turning or going where the weather's getting better.
Yeah.
But you got like holidays coming in. You got a lot of things happening. So I think I don't know. For me, it's like one of the best times.
What about you, Brett?
Busy today. Did a final walkthrough. It was like 6 hours long. Came right here.
6 hours long.
Yeah,
that is pretty. Hey, dude, that is pretty long for a final walkthrough.
Longest I've ever been to in 15 years in real estate.
Yeah, normally it takes about 4 hours. You know what? One thing that I forgot to do here, guys, and I messed up, was actually put the lighting on the camera, so I messed that up. But anyway, I guess we'll do that later because it's getting charged right now.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, we are going to be talking about $1 million listings in Las Vegas. What's going on in the market if you are planning on purchasing a home at $1 million and above.
10 years ago, you said that.
Yeah.
That's like a very small population of people that can afford that. Now it's like everybody's buying $1 million home.
Oh, you want to know what's crazy is when I first got into the business, doing a transaction for about $150,000 was such a big deal.
What year did you get in?
I think it was 2008 that I got in.
Oh, yeah.
During the market crash.
Yeah.
150,000. That's
Or maybe
crazy.
it was even cheaper than that.
What would you be able to buy at 150,000 today?
I moved to Vegas in January of 2009, and a house that was like 150. I remember all the realtors saying, "Oh, 2 years ago, this $150,000 house was 300."
Mm-hmm.
That 150, even between 2009 to 2011, probably went down to 100, maybe 90,000.
Dude, you know what's crazy is when people were buying homes for like 120, and they were flipping it like in 2013.
Yeah,
these guys were making like 150, 180,000. I couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
In 2013.
Yeah.
So that's basically between the beginning of 2013, the end of 2013 is when the market really took off here.
Yeah.
And I had an investor from Omaha. He never even saw any of these properties. 3 short sales going, and we started in September of 2012.
Yeah.
The short sales got completed in March of 2013, and he got it accepted at 85,000, and we put it on the market 6 months later, just waiting for the short sale to get done at 150,000.
Hey guys, keep talking. My car's done. I gotta go get my car.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Car's done.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
What are you talking about? Your car's done. You got a delivery of a car or what?
All right. So anyways, I mean, that's That's absolutely crazy. I mean, a house in probably February of 2013 that was 200,000 was probably 300,000 by the end of the year within like a 10-month period, because the hedge funds came in and they just
Blackstone, right?
Yeah, Blackstone. They came in and just cleaned house.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think Vegas has grown a lot with just people moving here, and you think that it's going to stop, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I might have a week where it's kind of chill, where I'm not going full bore. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh man, is the market going to chill out? It just whoosh keeps going ahead right now.
So what do you see out there right now with buyers, man? Are they they're pretty aggressive?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I don't really have any issues with my buyers. I mean, it really comes down to educating them at first, and just letting them know this is the kind of market we're in. And if they don't want to believe you, that's fine. I mean, let them write a few offers. They'll find out quick.
Do you have people coming from California more, or where do you have them coming from?
Cali and New York.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I had a buyer in contract in the new home.
You ever wonder why, like, maybe because the housing's so cheap that it's increasing when you come from other states? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the intrigue. Obviously, we talk about this every week. Is they come out here and they can buy a smaller or a home bigger for a smaller cost.
That's exactly what it is.
So I don't think a lot of these other states have that ability.
Clients just got in contract about a month ago.
Yeah.
$550, brand new home in Summerlin with a casita.
Yeah.
Coming from Queens, and they're selling their house in Queens or their apartment, whatever. It's a 3-bedroom, 1,300 square feet for like $1.6 million.
It's funny and
it's like 50 years old, 60 years old.
Is it really?
Yeah. So they're coming here with all the space in the world.
Yeah.
And for $500,000.
I feel like every time we come to this now, like Chuck's kind of put this studio thing together. I feel like I'm being watched a lot. Like people walking by, like, what the hell's going on in there? You know what I mean? What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Not all the time, but it's kind of look at some people coming by just to check it out. So he's back.
Sorry about that, guys. What a douchebag,
dude. What happened, man?
I was doing my car detailer. I forgot about the car detailer. I left him outside hanging. So where were we? What were we talking about?
We were just talking about million dollar homes that are being sold, and this is like the topic of what we're going to talk about, and so we kind of ran with that.
So I got some numbers that I wanted to share. So today, when we talk about $1 million listings, we're talking about $1 million and above. Right now, we have about 481 properties that are currently on the market. Okay. What do you think the average list price per square foot right now across the Las Vegas Valley?
As a whole?
Yeah, no, I'm not as a whole.
For over $1 million?
Yes, for over $1 million. What do you think?
385.
385?
I'm gonna say 425.
You want to know something? Brett actually won. It's pretty close.
Is
350?
It's actually 387. That's the list, but the average.
What did I say? 3?
You said 385, right?
So I was off by 2.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good guess, man. Hey, you need to go gamble something tonight.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I just practice real estate every day. So
dude, the lottery, I don't know how big the lottery is right now. You got to pick those numbers, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Drive the state line.
The average sales price across the valley is $332 a square foot. The median price for $1 million home is $1.5 million.
Wow.
300.
You know what? It's crazy because you see a lot of these people that come.
Yeah.
It's not just California. It's everywhere. There's more people in this world that got money than you think.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
I know, right? I didn't know I was broke until I got into real estate.
I'm like, man.
I thought I was doing something until I started looking at what people are buying.
I thought I was making some good moves.
It's almost like it's normal to that, though. Like they come in and they're like, yeah, it's not, I don't know. It's almost like there's a certain criteria of people and they all kind of commingle together.
Yeah.
And it's like they all work. Like they come in and it's just like not a big deal. It's like, yeah, I'm buying $1.5 million. How do I want to do it? I want to buy cash, finance. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's all relative, man. That's why I always say it's all relative.
And the crazy thing about it is the average days on the market right now is 35 days.
It increased?
For a multi-million-dollar home.
Multi-million.
Yeah. We're only talking about multi-million-dollars.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Today, okay?
Other homes exist, just not today.
Yes, just stick with the game plan, bro.
I just want to make sure, man.
This guy shows up with all these notes and he can't even stick to the
facts, baby. Facts.
Chuckus and I are like, we improv, dude.
Yeah, exactly. We just free float. We're just making this shit up as we go along.
I think too, it's like sometimes it can get confusing because like you guys are real estate agents, you know what's out there. Some of these people, you guys just lingo over there, like talking. Sometimes they might not know what you're meaning, you know? So it's good to kind of like.
What do you mean?
Well, just sometimes like some things like, you know.
I think you're the only person that is
Maybe
not
I'm
on
the
board
oddball
here.
out here.
Nah, you definitely are, dude.
I'm definitely the weird.
No, I know what you mean in a sense. You know, I mean, we do it every day. So there's a lot of things I always try to take precautions, especially with first time buyers, of explaining things thoroughly, because I take so many things for granted.
Yeah.
Because I do it every day that you forget basic questions that some people will have if they've never bought a house.
100%. Or you might reference something and then they don't know what it actually is referencing to, or somebody kind of jumps in and then they hear what you're saying is like, what are they talking about?
But
So,
I can just tell you right now, 1.5, any shit nowadays, dude.
No, it's
it
nothing.
really is.
No, I know. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, it's like today. For the past 2 days, we went out. Had a client that's approved for 1.8. We're looking at about 1.5 million, single story, roughly around 4,500 square feet.
Yeah,
there's not that many an option out there.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, when you're buying a home, especially like at that 1 million, you start hitting that tier bracket 1.2. You better make sure that you have certain amenities.
Is it overpriced a lot too at that price point? Like, it's got to be priced right.
Here's the thing. It's such a whole different niche when it comes to these like $1 million listings, because sometimes these listing agents will just take the listing but not do an appraisal. So like if I took a listing, first thing I would do is actually an appraisal to the property.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Sorry, man. I got something.
You need some water?
Something deep. Sound like you sound like Beetlejuice over there.
Let me wash this down.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I got something over here.
But these listings, some of them are just completely overpriced, especially when you start hitting, the 5 million to 7 million. What you'll tend to see is they'll start off at 7 million. After about a year, the thing's down like, $4 million.
I think too, though, like I got a guy right now that's doing a refi, no joke. 1.6, he put it on the market. He's not getting the offers he wants.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to pull it off and do a refi.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not saying like that happens to everybody, but when you hear that, we know that this market, there's a lot of people out there right now that it's going quick.
Yeah.
So that means there's somewhere of a break off between $1 million or $1.6 million from what I'm seeing, I guess, that it just doesn't flow like that.
No, it really depends on the location. It depends on if the property's priced correctly as well. And it depends on how desirable is that property. And what I mean by this is this: when it comes to multi-million dollars here, it's a whole different sector. You're not just running the comps based upon the square footage. When somebody buys a $1.5 million home, you're not comparing it to the neighborhood. You're looking at it, if I spend $1.5 million, what can I get for $1.5 million across the valley? When somebody's buying a $300,000-$400,000 home, they already know the location that they want, and they're comparing with all the other homes in that surrounding neighborhood. Again, when it comes to multi-million dollars, if I'm spending, again, $2 million, what can I buy throughout the valley?
So it's more of the whole spectrum of...
Yes, it's more of a bigger scope.
Got it.
The analysis is completely different.
Oh.
So it's your mind thought, the process. And when it comes to these type of homes, you definitely going to have to spend the money in the right areas. I mean, you can spend the $1.5 million, but if it's not in a desirable location, when you go and sell it, you could end up hurting yourself.
So most of these people that are coming in buying these big $1 million homes, they're looking at the resale part of it for one of the deciding factors.
Well, not necessarily.
No.
When I do these multi-million dollar homes, I'm always looking at it as a resale value. Because you have to understand, as a consumer, these are the things that they just don't think about. So my job is to explain to them, hey, you're probably never going to live on this home forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you might, but however, you should always consider a resale. Or if you don't resell this thing, you may want to refinance. So you want to make sure you get more bang for your buck. And also, location is a big difference. I mean, if you're going to spend, let's just say, like $3 million, you better make sure you're in a guard gated community. Now, which guard gated community? What amenities do they have? What are you paying for the HOA? What's the demographics? What's the average household income in there? So like all these play a big factor. And that's what I want to get my point across here is like when you start dealing with these type of homes, everything is really broken down to like tiers, okay? And this is the way I put it. So like if you're in a ballpark from like 1 million to 1.5, you're not going to have that many options, okay? But let's just say you're at that 1.5 million. But now if you can get into the 2 million where you're the smallest home, the cheapest home in a neighborhood that's 3 million, your money's going to go a lot longer.
Really?
Yes. And the reason why is because think about this. If I was able to spend 1.5 million, I would rather be in a bigger neighborhood that has multi-million-dollar homes above mine versus me being the top dog in my neighborhood.
Got it.
Because what's happening is now I'm at the highest price point for that tier bracket.
Yeah.
So if you can break through that extra tier, right, to get into the better neighborhoods, but you're the lowest price, right? But all the other homes are priced even higher.
So that's the goal.
to speak, the worst home in the best neighborhood.
Basically.
Yeah. But I mean, the worst home in that neighborhood is still a really nice home. I mean,
I'm just saying you don't want to be the king on the hill.
Exactly.
The challenges that I have is the average consumers that I deal with are going to be about the 1.5 to 2 million. But one of their main concerns is that, hey, location is a key for me. What you're saying makes sense, Chuck, but I want to get into these neighborhoods. Well, you don't have enough money. You're going to have to come up with just a little bit more where I can barely scrape you in. But once I get you in, it's going to be a good position in the long run.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your bang for your buck's going to go a long ways in there once you get in.
But I mean, the other thing is that you have to take a look at is let's talk about these amenities. Some of these communities, I would highly recommend that you be in a guard gated community. You should have a pool. I definitely would love to be in a clubhouse or some sort. You know what I mean?
Have they done statistics though where, I mean, you know, look, there's crime in every city, but you know, when you have a guard gated community, does that really make a huge deciding factor that there's less crime going on?
No, what that does, it gives you a sense of false security. However, the chances of somebody breaking into your home is going to be less likely than being in a neighborhood that is not gated or just opened out in, you know, rural. You know what I'm saying?
Try getting in the Red Rock, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I've already tried, and
some of these
I couldn't get out.
They're like double guard gate in some areas, man.
Triple guard gate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all case by case basis. And plus, you know, I've noticed people that live in these neighborhoods, they're more private. They're more quiet. They're kind of to themselves, and they just want to be left alone. And I don't want people knocking on my door, you know, hey, you want to sell your house, or hey, you want to buy this product?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
I think too, like when you talk about amenities, like, is that really something that these people got money?
They probably don't even use it, but
they don't. That's what I was gonna say. Do they even use this stuff?
It's about the atmosphere, man.
Yes, exactly. It's like I got a buddy that lives up in the Ridges. He's never been to the damn clubhouse.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I sold him the home, we never even went to the clubhouse.
Yeah, but as soon as you enter that gate and you go through the ridges, you know where
like,
you're
yo,
at, dude.
yeah, it's like,
you
yo,
know
I made it.
Like
I made it.
This is
All
where
right.
a man can feel success in this.
Yeah, and
place
I don't know. To me, it's almost like I wouldn't say living up to the Joneses. I don't want to say that, but it's just so it's like people buying a home or living in Vegas. You know, you got Vegas, the Strip. You just know it's in your backyard for the most part. So it's like almost like, I just want it because I know I can take advantage of it if I need it. But I don't know. I don't think a lot of people take advantage of that stuff, man.
Now, let me ask you this. I want to get into jumbo loans real quick. Are you dealing with a lot of jumbo loans, and how hard are they to get financed, these type of deals?
So jumbo loans are always a little bit more restrictive. Usually you have to have a little bit better credit score. You have to have a really good credit score. Usually you need more what's called reserves. And are they harder to get done? No, but I think that they're looked at a lot closer.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes in, where they're not selling it to Fannie or Freddie. So,
and I typically these loans are probably going to be a little bit more harder. And the reason why I'm saying this is because these are pretty much all self-employed people that
they
have these type of incomes, man, because it's far in between where you're going to have people that make this kind of money that they are like W-2 employees. Right?
Some people, I think, have W-2 jobs that make a good living. And a lot of them have no debt. For instance, there's some people that make, $10,000, $12,000 and they want to get like a $600,000 home, $700,000 home. They can afford that. That's only a $3,000 payment.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
you'd be surprised how many people I've met that make $10,000 a month and have $500 left at the end of the month.
Wow. That's crazy.
A lot.
Like how much money do you need to make to qualify for like $1 million, like a minimum?
$1 million? Well, it depends on what your overall debt looks like.
I'm just saying, like, if you didn't have any debt.
Any debt,
yeah,
you would probably have to make. Your payment's probably going to be about $5,000 or $6,000, so you probably need to make at least
Damn, $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah, so you'll probably need to make like, about $12,000 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's like my monthly nut right there, man.
Yeah, but dude, I don't know if I could spend $6,000 a month.
Hey, man,
it's all relative.
No, it is.
I mean, if you're making $5 million a year,
everybody wants that lifestyle.
what's $6,000?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. I think it's also too like, I don't think even if I wanted to go, like if I was like, hey, do I have the option to go buy $1 million home? I think everybody kind of does, but I think it's just a waste of money, and you got to justify it. Like maybe if it was my end home,
yeah,
maybe I'd think about doing it like that. But I don't know about just I'm gonna take some money and I'm trying to just be something that I'm not. I mean, $1 million isn't what it was a few years ago, but it's still something where it's high enough where you'll see the difference.
Yeah,
going into a home like that. Like you live in a pretty nice home. I mean, but do you prefer to live in that area? Because you could probably buy a home at $1 million, but is it cost effective for you? Honestly. So I think that's what you look at. Is it something I really want to?
I mean, I don't know about $1 million, but
you know what I'm saying? There's a threshold. So
you ain't gonna
Chuck, send me more leads.
Well, you need to close more business.
Exactly. Before I start doing that, go talk to Chuck.
Yeah, right. I don't know. To me, it's crazy because I think that there's certain criteria of people that will not even blink an eye and it won't affect them. Where some people, it's like, I don't know, man. I got other hobbies and other things that I might want to do. So that takes away everything I got.
It comes down to your priorities.
Right.
And it's all relative. So if the security and the privacy is what you want, even though you might not be using the clubhouse or the pool or even a golf course or something like that, you want that environment. That's what you want to come home to.
I mean, take a look here on your screen. It should pop up here in just a second here.
How restrictive are those security guards at the gates?
If you guys have not had a chance to visit lvhomeexperts.com, go to lvhomeexperts.com. This is your one shop stop.
Nice.
All the properties currently on the market right here. Okay. Take a look at this, guys. You have a property right here. The most expensive property is almost $30 million. Has over 57,000 square feet. It says that your monthly mortgage payment would be $141,000.
You got to call Jeff Bezos, man. You buy it as an investment.
Oh, Brett. Hey, Brett. Imagine the commission on that, dude. $130 million, dude.
Hold on. Don't be teasing
That's
me like
$900,000.
Is that what that commission is?
Yeah. Come on, bro.
In one pop. Brett, what would you do, man? What would you do? Would you just take the rest of the year off, or would you keep going?
No, I have to keep going.
You would keep going?
Of course.
Man,
that's when you just start getting your steam going.
No, I'd take that 900,000. I'd just disappear for the whole year.
Yeah. So then what? You come back a year later to start all over again and stick everything that you.
I'll hire somebody and they'll just have my name out there.
Yeah.
Dude, take a look at this. Okay, so
I would think about it though.
Property taxes on here,
dude,
is $185,000 a year.
I saw that come up.
Isn't that insane?
It's like
dude?
a whole.
That's insane.
I mean, look at this.
Isn't it like 50 acres or something?
Look
it's
at
like
the
huge.
taxes.
It's in the middle of the city. They have like their own lake or stream in there. It's like in the middle of the city.
So this thing features 7 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3.5 baths.
Dude.
Right? 57,000 square feet. 36 acres. It was built in 1957. You know whose home this is?
Whose is that?
Take a look. Just take a guess.
36 acres in the middle of the city with their own like stream and pond.
Is it the cartel? No.
I would say Wayne Newton, but that's not Shenandoah.
It's Wayne Newton's home. Look at this.
Was it?
Yeah. Dude, it has like a full ranch. It has like a lake, dude. It has like horse property. I mean, take a look at this.
That's off of Pecos.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that was Shenandoah.
Dude, just imagine the maintenance alone on this thing, like housekeeping.
Wayne Newton's old house, huh?
Dude, he bought that thing for $200,000.
Really?
In like 1975 or 6.
200,000?
Yeah.
Look at the inflation on that thing, man.
Look it up.
Dude, this thing actually has...
Jesus. I'm not good with numbers, but...
This thing has an airplane in here, I believe.
Yeah, it does.
It has its own airport?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, no. No, they're
Just for show.
There's actually a terminal, which is kind of crazy to me. Look at this, dude. Watch.
It's got like the bat cave.
Dude, it's got all
So
that.
he went bankrupt though.
Oh, did he? I'm not too
Yeah,
sure.
so he went bankrupt because he's horrible with money. So
Really?
he signs. He's just
What did
he's
he
horrible
spend
with
his money on?
He's
Everything.
everything. He's horrible with the money.
Really?
No, I don't know.
But
I mean, take a look at
regardless-
this. It's got a full friggin' terminal in here, dude. Like, what do you do with all this?
Check that out, man. You go outside and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna take the elevator to the airport and
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
out.
Dude, I didn't realize that was. Whose house used to be right next to his, or like 2 houses down was Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah,
I think Mike Tyson still lives here, doesn't
that's
he?
completely ludicrous.
That I'm not too sure. However, the location is really good. Also, again, if you guys have not had a chance to visit LB Home Experts, go to lbhomeexperts.com. Definitely a great website to get started. Now let's take a look. What else we got?
What's
on
that
here.
little thing right there? Can you like register? Like, how do these people
Right next to
register on their phone? Like, is there something that like they trigger with on? Is it same as on the phone? Is it on the computer?
I mean, you'll get all that same information. So,
Cool.
but let me see. what else we got.
$900,000 commission.
Isn't that a lot of money, dude? It's like, what do you do with that kind of money, dude?
That's
Isn't that insane?
Hey, we all work for our money, but that's like,
that's like hitting the lottery.
yeah,
That really is. I mean, and then obviously you have to pay taxes on it, but
who cares?
who cares, right?
So I want to talk about the process of buying these type of homes. As far as like the timeline periods, typically it takes about 35 days to close these transactions. Normally you get a 21-day appraisal contingency, 25-day loan contingency. You got a 10-day due diligence period. Now, with these type of deals, fees are going to be a little bit more as far as like closing costs involved. Home inspection is going to be a little bit more. And also the appraisal will be a little bit more. And sometimes the appraisal, you may have to do 2 appraisals, which is, I think, is the stupidest thing. I did a deal with you once, Dan, where this home appraised at $2.5 million. And
Yeah.
they requested a second appraisal.
It's scope of work.
Which is, it's crazy. They came back and appraised it again at $2.25 million.
Yeah. They do that because it's like, look, appraisers are opinion based off one person, right?
Yeah.
So if they get a second separate appraiser that's never seen the property, they want to see if it's averaging out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got to pay a little bit more money for those appraisals, though. It sucks.
No, it is. And these appraisals can get pretty expensive, and the home inspections could run you up to like $3,000-$4,000 just depending on the square footage of the home.
Home inspections that high, huh?
Dude, it takes hours, dude, and it's like multiple home inspectors, dude.
See, and as a realtor, you got to sit there and make sure everything's going smooth. And
Yeah, I mean, when you deal with homes at this price point, these deals can fall apart, dude.
Yeah,
That's
you make
why
sure
you're just, dude. That's why when you go on the contract, you're
babysitting.
hyper focused all
Yeah.
the way through. You're like
you're married to it until
the
it closes.
file. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
But when you get that check, boy, let me tell you, it's like, yeah.
Heck yeah.
When you get that check, boy.
It's like, shit. What do I do? I'm gonna go
Just
save
get
it.
like, hey, I need 10 of those a year, and I'm out. You know what I mean? Like you get 10 one at like what, $1 million?
Yeah,
You're good, right?
I guess so. But you know, for me, man, I would rather just collect dimes all day long.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to do those, $10, $20 million, and you only get one listing. You're sitting and waiting because, some of these listings can go on for like a whole year.
Right.
By the time you make 300,000,
Great. I got
by
a
then-
$4 million listing and it'll sell a year and a half from now.
Yeah.
2 years from now.
I mean, it's a tough market. It's a whole different niche, dude. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I tell you, I look at Vegas though. They got enough people here to buy those homes. I mean, a lot of the clientele that we talk to, no problem at 1 million. I mean, not everybody,
A lot of people,
but
dude.
a lot of people. And look, okay, 500, 800, 900, that's still pretty good size loan, good size purchase.
Yeah.
A lot of them there too. So obviously there's a lot more money out there than we thought,
Dude, a lot more than here because we ain't making that much. But a lot of
Especially when
people are
you're-
moving
well,
out.
everybody, is coming here from out of state. So California, a $600,000
Yeah.
house here is 1.5, 2 million there.
Well, think about this, man. I was watching this YouTuber, right? I think his name is Graham Stephan. And
Yeah, I watched him.
basically, he just bought a home up here, over here on Toll Brothers in Mesa Ridge. And I think he paid like 1.4 for it or something like that. And
Damn.
he was talking about like just on the taxes alone, that what he would have paid if he still lived in California, right? Think about it. If you made $1 million, right, and you're paying like 13% on state income tax, dude, that's a lot of money, dude. That's $130,000.
He bought a house here, huh?
Yeah. So I mean, that's $130,000.
We were talking the other day. Remember, you
dude.
said if you pull your business here, they'll tax you on that too.
Well, that's what they're trying. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I saw
which
that.
Is so insane
for the following
dude.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years?
Following 10 years, when you're out of that state, your business will be
Oh
taxed.
my God.
I don't think they're gonna get it.
No, dude. I mean, that's
There'd be so civil unrest, dude. It'd be like,
oh my
so
God.
crazy.
That's
Worse than it is now, right? Mm-hmm. Wow.
So you got any tips and tricks regarding multi-million-dollar deals that you can share with some people?
Talking about me or Brett?
Brett, man, you ain't selling that shit. You're not a realtor.
Hey, I could come up with something right now. Let me think.
Oh, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Dan's about to be a realtor. When are you gonna take that test, by the way, bro?
Oh, I don't know. It's gonna happen sometime.
You've been saying that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I think what it is, man, is we got a good flow going right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to take my pace because I'm still doing loans.
You know what that means, right, Brett? That means he getting greedy. He wants it double-ended.
Yeah, man. It's like no, I think they can do both. You know, it doesn't mean I'm gonna be out there.
you know, lenders realtors have the life.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what's crazy is Dan is going to be a very strong agent. If he can get that done, if he can master that craft, and he already knows loans,
Yeah.
dude, there's no way that he won't be able to crush.
Having the loan knowledge that you have,
Dude.
applying it to real estate.
I know that's actually one of the reasons why I
telling
did
you.
it.
Yeah.
That and the fact that Chakits is going to bring me on his team and I'm going to be part of the CK group.
We're not too sure yet. He's gonna have to go through some
Rigorous training?
Exactly.
You got to go through
Like the SEAL Team
initiation,
6.
yeah.
Hell yeah, SEAL Team 6.
Everybody's going to
Carry
punch
those
me.
poles on your back for 2 days, bro,
Yeah.
in the water. Don't
Everybody's-
sleep.
Everybody's going to punch me as I'm going through.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump them in, dude.
Yeah, you ain't gonna like it.
We jump. You want to be part of the Chukkas gang? You get jumped in, bro.
That's funny.
So let me pull some of this stuff up here. It looks like we're gonna have to answer some of these questions because we have a lot of questions that are coming in here. And Cece's like, answer the questions. Okay, so we are going to answer the questions. So let's see what we got here.
Oh, we got some questions? I didn't even see we got questions.
Yeah, so we got some questions here. Let's start off here. Do builders allow you to design your own plan, or do you have to pick from what they offer? Brett?
You have to pick from what they have to offer.
Now, kind of go more into depth with that.
So depending, but most new home communities will have anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 different models.
Mm-hmm.
And they might have different phases, but so they start out 4 or 5 models. They put up the model homes first, which is the very first thing that they do, even though they will start selling pre-lots and, things before they actually finish the models. But they'll have 4 or 5 different models. You walk in and you choose from one of those 4 or 5 different models. Now, within that, you can have certain variations.
Yeah.
But it still is contingent on mostly that floor plan because they can't do certain things with the house, with the structure on a different floor plan unless it's approved.
Also, the other thing is when you buy $1 million home in a tract home, again, there's certain things that you're going to need. Electrical is going to be a big deal. Mm-hmm. Depending on the floor plan, the style of the home, the architecture of the style. I mean, just like
You can't pick your own electrical, though,
Yeah, you
right?
can.
You can.
Let me
Yeah.
give you an example.
depending on the builder.
Yeah.
Did a final walkthrough with a builder today, and our buyer did about 10% above the basics of what you get on top of the base price of the home. They're in contract and finishing their home at $641,000. The house right across the street is the exact same model, exact same square feet, everything.
Wow.
But they got every single upgrade that you can get from the builder, and their house is over $900,000.
Oh, wow.
So $300,000 difference.
I got a question for you, Dan. So one of the questions is, what are the benefits of a veteran buying a house with a VA loan in Nevada and a preferred credit score?
Well, the benefits of a VA loan is so you don't have to put a down payment and no mortgage insurance, as long as you have eligibility. So it's always a benefit because it's more lenient.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's the best loan program that's out there. I think if you're a veteran, it would be crazy not to take advantage of that. My company doesn't even charge origination fees. And I don't know if you guys know this, VA doesn't even have a minimum credit score. That really comes down to the investor.
So when you say the investor, you mean the lender,
The bank, yeah.
the company that you are working with.
Yep. So we can do it down to 600, but there's got to be compensating factors. I would say the sweet spot is 620 or higher.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We're buying $1 million home.
Yep.
What is the county limits? Then what happens from there?
So let's talk about, first off, what happened. You have the Blue Water Navy Act that happened last year. And what that
Okay.
did is it allowed veterans to buy up to $1 million if it's not concurrent. Concurrent meaning you're already in a VA loan now, and then
Yeah.
you want to sell and then get into another one. So if you have full eligibility, you can go as high as $1 million. You can actually go higher than that, but you have to put 5% down. So
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad. You can go to $1.5 million.
But obviously, you got to qualify for that, right?
100%. And so you do have a county limit under VA though still of $510,350. As far as if you were going or you trying to go concurrent, like if you were saying if I was already in a loan and you wanted to get another loan or another house, then you would be subject to that because you already have your eligibility there. But as long as that's free, then you should be okay. But yeah, it did increase to $1 million.
I have a question for you, Brett. And this is from Phil. He goes, Brett, what's up with your profile? You look like a creepy magician.
I am. This is just my day job. You should see what I do at nights.
I can't believe Phil's calling you out. Do you know Phil? Have you worked with
No.
this guy?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Love me or hate me, baby. It's all good.
Hey, I got to see his profile picture. Can
now,
we pull
now Phil goes, Chuck, did you buy the Jeep? No, I didn't buy the Jeep, but Brett bought the Jeep.
Uh-oh.
I didn't buy the Jeep. I should have bought the Jeep.
You
but
should. You should.
I just didn't want to spend the money, man.
I think
you don't
buying a
need
car.
new.
Well,
What?
but buying
You don't need new.
buying
No,
a
that's
car is.
true.
I think buying a car is a worse investment, though.
Is it really?
I do, man. I look. I want to live up like that, and I want to, get a nice car and drive around and stuff. But man, I'm looking back and like, what did I get for that?
Yeah.
I got nothing for it.
No.
Can you get something good in Summerlin for around $2 million? I'm gonna say yeah, you can definitely get something cool in Summerlin for $2 million, but it depends what you want for $2 million. Also, the other thing I wanted to let you guys know that I'm aware of or notice, when you deal with people around $2 million, those deals are a little bit harder to close. And the reason why is because they get more picky.
Oh,
And I understand. I mean, if you're gonna spend $2 million on a
I was
home,
like, maybe qualify.
They want what they want.
Exactly. And sometimes it just doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
If you're buying a home at $2 million,
Yeah.
and I mean, look, again, people with money,
Mm-hmm.
you probably got options, man. And I think that's where it's at. It's just like the more qualified the buyer, the more, like for me, it's like the more qualified the buyer, the more options. That's the one
That
that's
goes
harder.
back to what Chuck has originally said about
Yeah.
when you're getting that price point. It's about what else can you get throughout the entire city
Yeah.
for
Correct.
those amenities.
That's
It's
crazy.
just crazy. Like I said, when it comes to these multi-million-dollar deals, man, it's just like a whole nother ball game out there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, dude. And I just can't believe all these people that got the money. The market is hot right now,
So does the seller pay closing costs when it comes to those $2 million?
man.
That's a mute point.
Bro,
Shut
don't-
your mouth.
I know. Don't even be asking for closing costs, dude.
It's like,
Nobody asks for closing costs, dude. What they will do is ask for a price reduction. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And again, that just comes down to educating your clients. It's just a whole nother ball game out there. And it's like, I noticed like these multi-million-dollar listing agents, man. It's
I got love for you, Phil. Sorry.
with these agents out here. Only certain agents will pretty much kind of dominate their space. You know what I'm saying? It's such like a small.
It's hard though.
market.
It's like once you
Yeah.
get into that, it's almost like
It's like
tiers.
a niche, yeah,
Like you get to one tier,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you got to work really hard to get that next tier.
yeah,
To increase in your tier of or scope of people, though, it takes so much time.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
Go ahead.
like the REO agents
Yeah.
back in the day. Remember, there was like 20
Oh,
of
yeah.
them that made all the money.
But you know what's crazy is people that got money, if they like you, man, they want to see you win, dude. And those deals are a little bit more easier to close. And I'm not saying that they're more sophisticated, but however, they just kind of get it. They're just like, yo, I want this home, write it up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed when you start dealing with buyers around like the 350 range, you kind of got to like hold their hand and kind of really walk them through the process more.
What's that price point right now where people are coming to buy a house right now? In a conforming loan limit, like usually the starting house point was what, 350 or something like that, or the average price.
Well,
per
the
home?
average right now is 387 across the board, but
Wow.
you know, our buyers that we have, they're roughly around, I would say around like the 550 range. That's kind of like our price point for our team. But, you know, we do have those multiple listings, or not multiple listings, but, you know, multi-million-dollar deals too as well. So it just depends, man.
Yeah.
And it
And
depends how you market as well.
yeah. I think. What do you guys think about a lot of these companies coming in like this? Like we used to have that open door and stuff like that. Do you think that they're going to play a big market or a big part of the market, coming into next year?
As of right now, I don't think so, man. And because, with this forbearance, it's going to end at the end of the year. But, I mean, how many loans, really out there are in default? I mean, I think it was, like 2 million or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's that much. And I noticed that I was
You
looking
just put a link out on something about that.
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. I just did the statistics on, I forget what it was. As far as, like, home ownership, I think we're down about, like, 6%. We're down to about, like, 63 now. And we were like up at 69 or something like that during the Obama administration. So,
oh, really?
But home ownership is down, but also the inventory is low. And I think the inventory is very low right now, just due to the fact that the interest rates are just like so low. And we talked about this last time where, based upon the median price point of a home today has already superseded the hype of the boom of 2008. But what's carrying this right now is interest rates are so low to the point where your mortgage is still cheaper right now than 2008, and I think a lot of people are just buying based upon that.
One
concept.
of the things too, yeah, is like, but you got to look at the forbearance too.
Yeah,
I mean, I think inventory would be a lot higher if the forbearance never occurred, obviously, because people are staying in their homes and they're not doing anything. So maybe this is not like where we can really say, yeah, well, this is going to be something normal going forward. People are going to probably start listing their home once they get more consumer confidence in what's happening around the world and what's going on here. So,
well, that's another thing with consumer confidence. People are like, hey, you know what? Stock market is good. Economy is good.
That's good.
I'm spending money. And that's what it really comes down to or boils down to is consumer confidence. You know what I'm saying?
It does. And, like I was looking at some news recently, COVID spiking up across geopolitical in some areas like France, I think, and it was like Germany and some other places. And believe it or not, that does play a considering factor on how investors invest their money. When they start seeing stuff like that, obviously that drives the economy. So what we're seeing is that investors are putting their money into the bond market, which is more of a safe haven, treasuries, U.S. treasuries.
Yeah.
And so starting to see that more. And also, too, we got this stimulus package thing coming out that they haven't passed it yet. What did people spend that stimulus on? They spent it on TVs. I was talking to somebody at the UPS and they were like, dude, I've not delivered more TVs this year than I've had in like the last 5 or 10 years, and it's like, why is
Same thing with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that though?
And you know what's crazy? People are just borrowing money like left and right.
Yeah.
But it's like, how long can this go on for?
Well, the stimulus was supposed to be there in case of a rainy day, and they're like, "Oh, free money."
Mm-hmm.
Not TVs. One, but here's 2 coming.
They might even have another coming. So what this does is, there's fiscal year and there's monetary policy, and a lot of this stuff is being used to prop up the economy, prop up gross domestic product. So we're going to start to see. So a lot of this stuff that's going on, where you see these strong economic data that's coming out, is it really accurate?
Yeah.
Is inflation being a problem, or are they just fudging those numbers? So I don't know. To me, it's a little bit, I don't know. It's kind of a hard market to determine what's going to happen next year. This has been a very weird scenario that I've never been a part of. It doesn't seem like it's a normal market, obviously. And I don't know what next year is going to have. If things start to turn, everybody's thinking, well, the election's going to have something. I
think people's got to park their money somewhere, because all these people that got real money, if you notice, they're buying like some sort of tangible asset. No matter if it's not an asset, as long as it's tangible, they're buying it, because I think what they realize is hyperinflation is coming.
Yes.
And that's what it seems like, dude, right now.
Well,
and
rates are still low.
You're better off putting your money into something like something. Because here's the thing, if my money was in the stock market, it tanks if I lose it all. At least if I bought a home, I still have the home. It's still there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think the stock market's a good way to get a quick return on investment, but it's not a long sustainable thing. Like, you got to really watch it. Brett, you're into the stock market.
I think you just buy the dips, bro.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Remember you said it's always about like where
listen, Apple has $2 trillion cash. They're not going anywhere. They take a dip, it's not tanking. It's still going to be there.
So Apple's pretty secure.
Yeah, I mean, so
is it more of an inside job though?
A couple years ago when I worked with quite a few, I had a series there where I had a couple $1 million plus buyers, and most of them were cash. And so they would send over their proof of funds, and a lot of them were their IRAs or there's, investments or something like that for their statements. And it was always Facebook It was always Apple. Those were like, they would have like over $1 million in Apple.
Is it more the inside though? Like, remember we were talking about this, that there's more inside now trading where, not inside, I wouldn't say that, but it's more like you got to like know, people know what's going to happen, and you got to know somebody in the inside where it's not like you're doing your research as much. You know what I'm saying? Like before it was like, in
a sense, but a lot of this stuff can be found online. You just have to be like, you have to do your homework.
Right.
You know, so the ultimate is to find something that hasn't took off yet. And
give me the top 3 stocks to go into
guys,
today.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with real estate?
It doesn't. I was just answering questions.
Why are we going in this direction?
Yeah, we'll talk.
I think what we need to do is this. Dan, give us a quick rundown. What's going on right now with the mortgage market?
With the mortgage world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about what's really happening with rates. Rates have been under 3.5% for 5 months.
Okay.
What you just hit it right on the head. Money's cheap. So I think people out there are searching for homes. It's not all about Vegas. I'm sure there's other places, but here we can really look and see what's happening. We see a lot of people buying big homes for cheap money. So that's one thing. Refinance applications and applications as a whole been down a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
One of the deciding factors on that, I think, is the timing of where we're at. You know, it's starting to get to the slow season, plus people are back to school, even though they're doing stuff from home. And then you look at some things that's happening with not just applications, but rates right now are very good, and there's not a lot of movement. You know, you see stuff happening where people are putting their money into the treasuries. And what this is doing is we're not seeing a lot of movement with rates. Rates are still hovering at the high 2s, low 3s. I don't think there's going to be anything happening with rates probably until after the election, till they kind of see where everything's going to settle.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that. So there's a lot of good information out there, you know, but I think too, consumer confidence is high here.
Yeah.
So it's driving the economy, plus the stimulus news and all this other stuff. Ultimately, our economy is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal. But I do think the geopolitical news and COVID and stuff like that could ultimately turn that direction. But I mean, guys, rates are low. I mean, I don't know.
Right now, there's 2 places. There's places where people live and want to get out of and are trying to escape. And there's the places where everybody wants to go to. We're one of the places everybody wants to go to.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, look, refinances are still going on. And if you look at it, we're down 40%, we're up 40% this year than we were last year, because this year has been the refinance boom because rates have dropped so much.
Wow.
So, you know, there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of things, but, you know, there is some tail off. You know, we're starting to see mortgage applications dip a little bit. Could be a lot of factors from it. Could be a lot of the things that's going on with the election. It could be the fact that, like I said, it's the timing. It could be people just are uncertain right now. You know, there's a lot of people out there still uncertain about what's going to happen with COVID and everything else.
I don't think they're ever going to raise interest rates, dude.
Well, I think they tried, and it actually
what happened.
Yeah, it got up to 5%, and
it was like, oh no.
Well, it's because it's like this. People start laying people off.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got to think of that. Okay, if the cost in goods and services are going up, the cost of loans are going up as a whole. If you're a small business owner, if you have employees and everything else, all of these costs start to come into play.
Yeah.
And so it starts doing a trickle effect.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point it's like, okay, do I keep on these employees and, you know, just, you know, lose money or potentially lose money? So when you start to see that happening after we already have a system somewhat set in place that rates are this low,
yeah,
it's a hard adjustment.
No, it is.
You know, and I think that's what people are dealing with. It's just a hard adjustment. What do you think?
Concur.
He wasn't even paying attention.
Did I lose you at hello?
You did.
Oh, guys, do you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, I think self-employed buyers, you know, we're dealing with a lot of those now, and I want to emphasize why that's so important with people out there.
They're a little bit harder to get done, aren't they?
They are, and you know, people don't want to pay there's a premium to get an audited profit and loss. So if you're somebody out there that's a business owner, a small business owner, we're having a little bit. It's not. Look, we're approving them still,
but it's harder. And the reason it's harder is because, and I think this is going to be a mainstay. They use this as, well, this is going to be the new post-COVID thing until further notice. I think it's going to stick around because it's really going to minimize the amount of default. Banks
have a high default ratio on self-employment.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And that's what I'm saying. When you start hitting the $1 million market, it's a whole different demographics. And, from my buyers, what I realize is that the buyers that are purchasing at that price point, they're pretty much, majority of them are all self-employed. They're
100%.
making their own money.
100%.
So, it's best to do all that paperwork all up front, because the timelines now to close on these type of deals, you're going to be putting yourself in a bad predicament, especially when this earnest money deposit is $100,000. I mean, that's a lot of money, dude, to be putting up.
Let's talk about this too, is that when you talk about your clients or just clients that you've been dealing with as a whole, when you get to that price point, this is not like the small mom and pop shop that's just doing $500 a year and they're paying a few employees. We're talking about people that own some businesses, like some serious businesses. So there's
when
a
you
lot
own
of
multiple, it's going to be even harder to get all that paperwork.
100%.
How do you even equate to that, or how do you even deal with that?
Because there's a breakdown. It's a flow. You can see how the tax returns and how the business is flowing. But the point is that you have a lot more moving parts. So there's a lot more things to address with buyers that have a lot more assets and a lot more things that are going on. Multiple businesses, multiple properties. Maybe they got some type of, I don't know, something else coming in that we need to address. I mean, when you have money, you have options.
Too many options.
It's like why you get an accountant, because it's not just a standard paycheck and here you go that can be done HR block. It's like
you mastered this area and now it's like, well, what if I went into, like, I want to go buy Bitcoin or I want to go do this. It's like when you start getting into the business world and you're trying to invest in different businesses, obviously that's an intriguing thing to happen for them.
So are you uploading? Are you having the consumer upload all the files first and all the statements before you submit everything, to the underwriter to get everything fully approved? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And why is that important? Okay. Everybody always get like, well, send out the approval letter. Just let me get in shop. I got a house I'm looking at.
That's a no, but go ahead.
It's fine if you're like, hey, I want to do it. I'm going to have that conversation, like, hey, put your paperwork in. But the real thing is you're the only, you say this is the best.
Yeah.
You as a consumer or somebody out there buying a house, you're the only one that's going to lose if something happens.
Exactly.
If you don't put your paperwork in and things happen, that's on, that's up to you, that's on you. But if you try to help them in the beginning or up front.
Yeah. And I think what happens is like the consumer gets so emotionally involved and attached to the home.
Yeah.
Now their emotions are driving their thought process, and they're like, just get the approval letter so that way we can submit it and we'll deal with it later. It's better to deal with all that all up front now, knowing that you're solid before going even out looking at a home. You know what I'm saying? So that way when you're making an offer, like this is going to be a solid offer. You're not going to have a problem. And also when you're dealing with multi-million-dollar listing agents, they're already going to probe you as a buyer's agent.
100%.
And they're going to start questioning you right away. And they know the questions to ask, because the last thing that they want to do is tie up a $4 million deal, especially with their sellers.
Yeah,
and they can't get the deal done. You're going to piss everybody off.
What does the seller do for me? How solid are these buyers? Dan French, how are they?
Exactly.
What's their credit? And they start drilling.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find little loopholes. And did you check this? Did you check that? See, these agents that are selling homes like that, they're not the average agent, man.
They're not. They're sophisticated. I mean, just like, here's the thing. Like when I'm submitting an offer, one of the things that I do is when I submit the offer, I have the subject line. Just on the subject line alone, right? When you submit the offer, you got the address, the MLS, the buyer, right? You have it attached to the approval. Also, I even put on there, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to contact my lender. Here's my lender's contact information. Now the lender CC'd on it. So now they can see what's going on. Then my lender will automatically contact them right away. So now their team can see that our team knows exactly what is going on. And that just shows how efficient that we are.
Does that happen to you a lot? Where sellers are like, hey, can I contact your lender to find out how qualified this buyer is?
About 50-50.
But is it happening more? I mean, is it like, it
really comes down to the listing agent. I mean, some listing agents are
more sloppy than others.
Yeah. I mean, some should have stepped in a long time ago on things and they just allowed something to happen on the other side and they could have cared less.
Yeah.
Other agents, the second, like even a builder right now, Paragon Builders, they're doing the townhouses off the I-15, getting one of our buyers into contract right now. And the listing agent for the builder has contacted me probably 7 or 8 times since yesterday with different questions and this and that, wanted to know the buyer scenario and all that stuff.
It all depends.
Well, typically with the builder, what they would do is, especially at that price point, they want you to get approved through their builder too as well, because they want to make sure you're qualified. And that's the same thing when we start doing these $1 million listings. They just don't want to have any problems.
Yeah, it's more of a control factor. It really is.
Well, it has to, because you want to make sure that these things go smooth, because at this price point, anything could derail these type of deals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
If something comes up on the other side, you want to know that the agent's competent enough.
Yeah.
Because you can't have that conversation with their clients. Only they can.
Do you guys ever like get agents where they try to challenge you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't have a problem with it. I put them right in their place. It's all good. But also the other thing is that what I realize is that with agents, right, that have these multi-million-dollar listings, they do their homework up front. And what I mean by that is I've noticed, like, they'll have the prelim report. Normally they would already do an appraisal. So they already know what's going on with this deal. Now, what a prelim report is, it's a report that's attached to the property. It tells you or the title company what's going on with the property, everything that's attached, if there's liens or litigations, and you want to make sure it's a clean title. But what I notice is that homes that are around the 500 range, agents don't even pull a prelim title report. You see what I'm saying? And you don't want to go into the deal. Next thing you know, it's not a free and clear title. Next thing you can't get the deal done. You wasted everybody's time. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that at this caliber, everybody's doing their homework up front. Yeah. It's a whole different ball game. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that I wanted you to read that question. That's a good point right there.
Well, what was the...
Andy Wong just put out.
Okay,
I just saw that real quick, the one that just came up.
Gotcha. It says, Chuck, you should start taking calls during the podcast. I noticed some of my neighbors moved to Vegas because high price lease and rent and commercial and residential. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are. If you guys want to call in studio, I don't know why I'm not really pitching it too much, but if you guys want to call in, call in 702-319-1092. Call in with your question, and we'll see if we can get your...
He's got another question, too, right here. Andy Wong's got...
What does he say?
Vegas and Austin... I don't know, disappeared. Something.
Vegas and Austin will become the next LA if it continues of the high cost of living. Well, maybe you should keep buying then, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Buy, then sell. It's like... Eventually, this place will get oversaturated. Then what? You know what I'm saying?
It's a valley. All valleys get filled.
By then, it's like too late, dude.
Yeah. And then you got to pack up and move.
Dude, am I missing the boat?
Alaska.
Damn.
You got to...
Oh, look at that. Andy Wong, wrong number. Oh, see, that's the problem. When you try to, like, do all this all at one time, it's kind of, like, hard to, like, mandate everything. You know what I'm saying? Control the board. Control this. Here you go. Call into studio. 702-319-1092.
What was the number that was on there? Just a different number?
I don't know what it was. Come on in, Jason.
Big Jason.
Oh, Jason is here.
Dude, what kind of smoothie is that, man? What is that?
Tropical Garden.
That looks tasty, dude.
Yeah, it's good. All right, guys. We are going to finish up on this show. If you guys have not had a chance to visit LV Home Experts, go ahead and visit lvhomeexperts.com. Dan, you have any final words regarding financing here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I would say that everybody out there, rates are still low and very low. And I think a lot of people are still taking advantage. If you guys want to refinance or purchase a home, you can always reach out to me. You know, people are still refinancing. Even though I've said apps are low, people are still pursuing this.
Brett?
Move here, save money, get twice the home.
Cash out.
That's it?
That's it. Use us to use your agents.
Oh, that's right. And Dan does have a YouTube channel, Dan French.
Yeah, Dan French. Also, my website, though, if you guys wanted to go look and see if you qualify for a loan, I think that's equally as important. It's vegasloanguru.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and hit the apply now in green.
Green.
Yeah, it goes right to me, and then we can start piecing it all together.
And you can start that loan application. How soon can you actually get approved, an approval letter, or figure out if you are qualified or not?
Very quick. I mean, the cool thing about it is that when you start it, 20 minutes later, you get something that says either approved, or if you're not approved, I can call you and we can work out how to get approved. So there's always a way out.
All right, guys. Hey, I just want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Krulsawat. And again, don't forget to visit lvhomeexperts.com. Other than that, till next time.